A subsidiary of Chinese developer Zhenyan US branch files for bankruptcy. Assets ranging from 100 to 500 million. Main shareholders include AMC spoofers such as RBC, Wells Fargo, and also BlackRock as well as Morgan Stanley. BlackRock plans to lay off 600 employees as it pulls back from ESG, and the ETF approval is right around the corner. And guess who also has earnings this Friday? BlackRock, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, as well as Citigroup. Today is going to be a spicy video. We got a lot of stuff to cover with AMC and GameStop, and I am extremely excited to show you what I think is about to come. So make sure to watch until the end of the video. Please hit the like button. It's free. It helps me out. Also, subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 18,000 subs, and I want to hit 20K before January is done. So if you watch my videos and you're not subbed, make sure to subscribe and have that post notification bell hit. Now, I'll cover this real quick before we get into what I want to talk about with AMC and GameStop. Everything important that is basically happening this week. Today is nothing but Boeing damage control, and you're seeing some random plays sort of squeeze / rally, as well as the market scale a little bit higher, which we're going to touch on a little bit later. Tuesday and Wednesday, nothing important, and then Thursday, 8:30 a.m. CPI data, which is going to move the market, and then PPI data also Friday, along with major bank earnings, which is going to be interesting to see because bank losses are at or around 700 billion, which we will also touch on. Now, an inflation tweet from Ryan Cohen himself was about 35 days ago. The first thing that comes to mind regarding 35 days is the time it takes out to close FTDs. So this is also something that is happening this week. Taking a look at the T+35 date for the FTD closeout period over on GameStop, which will be huge. Also, one more touch on GameStop before we get into the charts. It is slightly gaining its volume back for the stock, which is exactly what I talked about that we wanted to see for GameStop. The volume exhaustion was there, and we want to see volume start to fade back in while we move to the upside. Now, I'm extremely excited to show you what I have for GameStop. We have been talking about the stair-stepping method over on GameStop, and nothing plays out exact, but it does play out very similarly. That history doesn't repeat itself, but often rhymes sort of message here. Take a look at when this cycle started. This is what I always use for a cycle start. You can see on any squeeze play, I guarantee you there's this sharp U in the chart, and it's what the algorithms do. So from the bottom of this to the first initial pop in GameStop was about 150 days. Looking at GameStop, you see the cycle start right here from the bottom, and we have about until January 22nd for that first initial pop. But before that, you saw GameStop start to slowly scale higher anyway. So slowly scaling higher into this macro trend line before breaking out January 20th to 22nd is what I think GameStop is about to do. And it looks extremely well. So we want to see volume slowly fade back in. We don't want a sharp rise, right? Slowly fade back in, slowly scale to the upside back to about $16.60 before breaking higher. And that is exactly what I think is going to come for GameStop. Could I be wrong? Sure. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice, but this gets me extremely excited. And taking a look at AMC trading at $5.27, up 1.84% on the day. And I don't think the sell-off is over just yet, but it lines up perfectly with GameStop as to when GameStop would have its pop, right? AMC may be actually sooner depending on what time we hit that low. I think 435 is going to be the low, and that is based off of the previous cycle, bringing AMC down about 36%, coming down to $4.35. Currently, we have only hit a down 25% from the start of the yellow part of the cycle. So I think AMC has about 9 to 12% more of a decline to come down to that level before getting that next leg up to $12 and then moving higher along with GameStop. Now, according to Ortex, 8.38% short interest, not much happening there. 3 million shares available to borrow according to Stonko Tracker, 2,000 calls compared to 16,000 puts expiring in the money, 52,000 calls being bet out of the money, as well as 30,000 puts. More people betting bullish, more money going to premium. Bad week to bet bullish. However, next week is the week we are watching with more options coming in, more flow coming in for the 19th expiration, which is going to be a huge week for AMC and GameStop's options chain. And we have seen that there has been crazy prices being bet Over on the options chain, AMC over 30, GameStop over 120. GameStop, 45,000 shares available to borrow. Touching on the options chain, 1,000 calls compared to 4,000 puts, so we are losing as of right now for the week, but I don't see a hard decline in GameStop for the week. If anything, I see chop trading. Next week, the options activity is extremely high, and if GameStop does break out, we could see some nasty gamma ramp going forward, which is going to put pressure on them for the short exempts. If GameStop does break out, they are either going to let it ride and get out once and for all, or you're going to see short exempts reach highs we have never seen before, but it's unlikely, seeing how the market is going to do. If the market goes green as well as these stocks breaking out, shorts aren't going to want to stay in this play, even if they are illegally suppressing it. Unrealized losses account for 33% of all bank equity capital in the US. Currently, banks are sitting on nearly $700 billion of unrealized losses. To put that into perspective, even at the worst point in '08, unrealized losses only accounted for 5% of equity capital. Prior to the regional bank crisis, the percentage was improving at 22%. However, since the crisis, we have seen rapidly rising unrealized losses, which is a trend worth watching. Get ready for earnings on Friday. Could be the pullback everyone is talking about and has been waiting for across the board. Speaking of a pullback, Henry Dent has said that 2024 will bring the biggest crash of our lifetime. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with this. Comment crash or comment moon. In my personal opinion, I'll get into that in a second when we touch on the market. Guys, I wanted to point out one thing. I'm going to plug this real quick and then we can move on. Moomoo. The link is in the top of the description. Plenty of you guys are signing up. If you don't deposit even a penny, right? You can deposit a penny. If you don't make a deposit, you're not going to get your free stocks. So people are coming to me, lottery stocks, I signed up, but I didn't make a deposit and I'm not getting free stocks. That's because Moomoo has to get alerted that you deposited into your stock account, even if you're trading with a penny, right? So sign up using my link and make a deposit of any amount, penny, dollar, whatever it may be, and you will start earning free stocks from there. Also, guys, get in the Discord. I'm in there on the daily. We talk stocks all day long. Most amazing people are in there. We post gains, post losses, and have options trading alerts in there. And we have a big year going forward for Discord, as well as members only, as well as the YouTube community in general as a whole. This is going to be our year. This is going to be a crazy, crazy year. So press the link at least and watch the trailer to decide if you are going to join. It's a coffee a month. Sacrifice it to level up your trading journey, level up your status. Let's make money together. Come talk with me. Come talk with the most amazing people. There are no bad questions. Whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is the place to go. Now, March will be lit. Reverse repo ends, BTFP expires, and allegedly there is going to be Fed cuts and QT ends allegedly as well. Now, something that is going to affect the market, Apple has scheduled earnings for after the close on Thursday, February 1st. The next day, you'll be able to buy the Vision Pro. Apple is the biggest holding in the overall market and will affect the market, just to keep an eye on this. Now, the overall market, trading at 470.26, up 0.5% on the day. Finally broke the resistance at 468.50, broke higher and is basing off of it, also broke 469. Coming up, testing 470.80, and we have these minor resistance levels: 472.07, 473.33, 475.30, right? These minor resistance levels, and then the major one we're watching is 472.75. You want to see a break over 472.75, or really 472.70 is the level I'm watching for the SPY to potentially break over. We don't want to see a rejection and then a nasty pullback right there. We want to see a lot more volume picking up on today's candle as well as tomorrow's candle to get strength to push above that resistance level. Now, US Congress reaches agreement on 1.59 trillion top line spending bill for 2024. This includes 886 billion in defense spending and 704 billion in non-defense spending. In other words, defense is now at 56% of US government spending, and the spending spree continues. That is the last bit of data. As for the economic side of things, I wanted to touch on the VIX because the VIX scaled higher. However, it's not looking too beautiful. If the VIX sells off right here and breaks below this trend line right under about $13 and then essentially breaks its support at $12.75, this is going to be good for the market. In my opinion, this is going to show that the SPY is not going to retrace and is going to fly higher. So I'm watching for a break below this parallel channel on the VIX for the SPY to move higher. Now, another thing that makes me think the SPY is going to shift higher, of course, is crypto. We like to watch Bitcoin correlated over the SPY, and it's finally sitting back above 45,000. However, it is fighting heavy resistance in this whole range the entire time. We need a clean break over 46K and then a full candle close above that for Bitcoin. And essentially, that is what I'm watching. If Bitcoin sells off, watch for another retest on this trend line right around 42.5. Speaking of Bitcoin, Japanese e-commerce giant Mercari to accept Bitcoin payments. Perspective, it has 20 million monthly customers. Finally, to close out the video, Tesla 238.48, up 0.42% on the day, slowly scaling higher. I'm not mad at consolidation at this level. I expect Tesla to just be bullish coming into March, nearing all-time highs, if not breaking, getting new all-time highs, and I am still long on Tesla shares as well as Tesla calls, and I am not too worried about it. That is my outlook on Tesla. And finally, Tesla Model Y has been the best selling car in the world in 2023. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to use my link in the top of the description to download Moomoo, sign up, and make a deposit. It takes 2 minutes out of your day, and if you've done it already, have a family member come over to the channel and do it. For the ones who've signed up, you do need to deposit at least a penny. And also, guys, get in the Discord, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. We have a lot of stuff to cover this week. Let's make some money. I love you all. Lottery Socks out.